Hello, today I'm going to be changing the fuel filter on my wife's 2007 Ford Escape, and this uses, this has a 3-liter V6 engine. So the first thing we want to do is relieve the fuel pressure because this is a fuel injected car, and when you turn the key on, it's going to bring the fuel pump is going to pump gas from the gas tank to the fuel rail on the engine, and it's around 60 psi, so you don't really don't want to take the fuel filter connection off with that kind of pressure. So looking at the manual, what we want to do is take the identify the fuel pump, and then take that relay out. So actually, here's the fuel pump relay, R3, and we identify it here, R3. Here's the fuse box in the engine, so there's just a little tab here, and that'll release it. Take it out, and the R3, according to the picture, it's just after these little group of fuses here. So it's right here. So that would mean it's under this black one. So basically we pull this relay, and then we go and turn on the car, run it until the engine dies, take the key back out, leave the relay out, and then we can do our job. Okay, so the fuel filter is located basically close to the rear tire here. So here's the rear door. And if we go underneath, here's the fuel tank, and there is the fuel filter. Okay, I'm going to basically just pretty grimy. Just going to clean it up so I can remove both of these connectors, one on this side, one on the other side. Okay, so this is the inside connector of the fuel filter, and I can't really demonstrate this without putting the camera down, but I actually have moved the clip. This is kind of a tricky clip because you have to move. You see this, the part of the connector, the white connector on the right hand side is an outside clip, and then on the inside here, let's see if I can get my finger in here. On the inside here is an inside clip, and the way they have it configured is you have to put force. You have to put force going out on the outside clip at the same time as putting force moving these inside clips toward the middle, toward the in part. So you have like a pair of needle nose that are here pushing out, and you have another pair of needle nose pushing in. So it's a little bit tricky. You have to do that simultaneously, and then while you do that, you have to push up, and this releases this white clip here. Okay, I've positioned the light on the other side because I expect once I pull that connector out, it's going to release whatever gas is in the fuel filter and whatever residual. Well, there shouldn't be any pressure because that's already been relieved by turning on the engine without the fuel pump relay and letting the engine die. So again, I have to put the camera down in order to do this. I'm basically going to wrap a towel around it, and I have a container underneath here ready to catch any gas that comes out. So this side I'm leaving alone. So I'm going to pull this one first, and which is easier because the gas will come out. I expect to come into this container, and then once that's done, then I can actually release the other side. Okay, and as you can see, I've pulled it, and it's a little tight under here. Basically all I need to do now is, so it's been released, I just need to push it out, and it will start dribbling the remainder of the gas into my container. Okay, here we go. I'm going to use a screwdriver just to push that out of the way. There we go. Out. No. Thought there'd be more gas than that. Oh, there we go. Get it all out. Okay, just let that dribble out. There we go. There we go. Let it dribble out. And I'll do the other side now. Okay, so it's almost done dribbling. Next thing is to undo this little worm gear clamp here, which holds this filter into place. And then if you look at this connector, which is a little different than the other side, basically you just need to squeeze these two together, push the little clip up out of the way, and then pop this off. So I'm going to do this first, then I'll release the clamp, and I can take the filter out, and we'll bring in the new filter. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but the white clip basically pinched it very carefully. It's only plastic, so you don't want to break it. Pinched it and simultaneously push up, and you can see this. There's the top part of it. This flange is out, so we're ready to move this out. Just take this piece off, and then I'm going to take this, undo this clamp here, and then pull it out. Okay, here's a picture of it after I've pulled it, and it's both dribbling a little bit of gas now. So basically needle nose pliers on both sides, but the inside clamp is a little bit more difficult to work with, but with a little bit of patience you can get it off. Okay, let that finish dripping off, and then I'm going to release the clamp and pull the filter out. Okay, so there's one thing I want to point out. When you try to pull the filter out, there is this little tab that's part of the bracket that holds it on. So you have to basically move it up and clear it out of the way. And the other thing I did was, in order to get the gas out of the filter, you can basically take this and tilt it up a little bit, and that will allow it to dribble out. Okay. And now we should be able to take it right out. Now, this is going up against this thing. I'm trying to do this without having to take the bracket off. And there we go. Looks like there's still some fuel in there. There we go. Take it right out. Now, basically we want to note the orientation because we want to put the filter in the same way because there is a direction of flow. And I believe it is, let's see if we can find it on here. I can't seem to find it written on here. But this wider flange is facing the outside, so we'll put the new filter in the same orientation. I believe the gas line comes into here from the tank, the fuel pump, and then the other side goes up to the engine. Okay, so here's the two fuel filters, and I had it backwards. There's the directional flow. So the bigger flange actually goes to the engine, and this side goes to the pump in the tank. And here's actually the part number for this particular car. Of course, you should check with vendor where you buy it. But anyway, there's the old and the new. Looks like they are the same. So we're ready to install the new one. Okay, so filter's back in, and I've connected these connectors and pushed the light clip back in on both sides, and basically pull on them, make sure to push them all the way in, and then pull out again. Make sure they're in secure. Same with this one. Push in. I heard a little click there, so it wasn't all the way in. Push in and pull out. Okay, looks like it's ready to go. This has been tightened up. So now we basically want to turn on the key, pressurize the line, and make sure there's no dripping or no leakages. That would be bad if that were the case. So anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. Okay, there we go. It's primed. Turned over the car. And it's running. So the first thing you should do is before you crank it over, just turn the key on, and initially you'll hear like a little crackling sound. That's the fuel trying to pressurize through the filter. So turn it on for a couple of seconds, turn it off for a couple of seconds, turn it off. Do that probably 4 or 5 times, maybe 6 times, until when you turn it on, you hear a constant humming sound with the fuel coming in. That means that the fuel has completely pressurized the line and it's ready to turn over. And just take it apart. And that's it.